Hello, this is Martin from seekedge, the channel for learning about trading and investment. Welcome to pre-market analysis for June 30th, Wednesday 2021. What happened in the market? That's what we are going to see. We will plan tomorrow's trade accordingly. Let's get into the charts. So, this is Nifty 50 index chart, and I'm just looking at the plain candles. Yesterday we discussed that this is a very bearish candle because it's a open is equal to high pattern, which meant there was heavy consistent selling throughout and it was very bearish signal. Today that's exactly what happened, right? There was a continuation of the bearishness that happened in the market. You can see that, right? So once again we have, it's not a short candle, it's a long bearish candle, but there was the wicks that you see on the top and the bottom indicates that there was pretty much big movements, big fight between the bulls and the bears that happened today in the market. Bank Nifty similarly, yesterday this was a spinning top while the market was moving up, but not on the top, but spinning was enough to bring the market, the Bank Nifty is heavily bearish again, right? And there's hardly any wick on the top. It's almost near to an open is good high, so it's a very bearish, so all the bullishness that Bank Nifty showed last week is not there now. It's turned bearish. That's the candlestick. Let's see what happened actually in the day. Let's go into the lower time frame charts and see. So today is 29th, right? So this is the action that happened, right? Once again it gave a false signal. The first 30 minutes it went up slightly, right, and then start the dip, right? Then it attempted twice and recovered half of it. Recovered half of what it had lost. It recovered that, right, more than half. And then, right, around 2 o'clock it could not hold and then it fall further down, right? So this is the action that happened. That's why you see the wick on both sides. The attempt that it made two times, it made two attempts to get back, but no, it didn't work out, right? So what about Bank Nifty? It's same. You can see that it's the same thing, right? You can see that it so there was not much of an attempt. In the beginning itself was falling flat, right? Falling flat, consolidating mid of the day, and then at 2 o'clock coming down. Overall, if you see, right, the fall was from the top. You have a fall of around 400 points and more, 450, near to 450 points fall had happened today, right? But did attempt once to, right, and that attempt, it's in between, it was sideways, so that was the pattern that you see. But the fall was pretty much good bearish candle, that formation that happened. That's the introduction on Bank Nifty, and let's quickly get into see what the Bollinger Bands is saying. Bollinger Bands, if you see Bank Nifty, it is consolidating in a range. Nifty and Bank Nifty also consolidating in a range. As you know, it has been doing that for quite some time. Support and the resistance, nothing has changed, right? So the thing is, on Nifty, you can see that it is currently on a moving average support, 20 moving average, right? we can see that this candle is residing on 20 TMA, 20-day moving average support, right? So that is the first support that it has got. After that, all the supports remain the same. You have another support at 15600, another one is 15500 levels, and then a major support at 400 and 300 levels. After that, 15,000. Upwards, just have to break the all-time high. That is the first resistance. Then 16K. Bank Nifty, even here it's holding on to the moving average, 20 moving average, right? So it has taken a support on the major support zone that we talked about, 34,600 to 34,500, 600 level, right? So that is exactly what it has taken. So major resistance is this. Yesterday we talked that no, if Bank Nifty has to continue the bullishness that it showed on Friday, it has to go up and break this barrier. It could not do that today. Also it fall down, right? So that's the support and resistances. Divergences, we talked about divergence, right? Divergences on Nifty, we had divergences. We have this divergence. So this was one which we talked about, which positive bullish divergence didn't work. This is another one, didn't work. This is not really a divergence. It's diluted because it has gone into the sideways zone. Nifty today dipped in the sideways zone. So it's a diverted, but still there is a momentum divergence that you can say, which is bullish in nature. You can see that the price is going up and the momentum is coming down. Right? The same pattern has been, so there is a chance that it can go up if this works out, right? So when it works out, all three of these divergences, 1, 2 and 3, all these momentum divergences together can bring the market up. But it is diluted because this should have happened on top, right, above the sideways only. It should have happened in the bullish zones, right? But still we can. So that is about. So basically the divergences that are bullish which we identified has not worked. Bank Nifty, there was no divergences. It is resisting. It cannot climb up. It is stuck here, right? So that is the momentum is sideways. Bank Nifty has fallen into sideways by few points, 58, which is okay. It is still has a little chance of bullish bounce up, right? But Bank Nifty is already in the sideways. Now trend, if you can see, the trend is what happened. Very interesting thing happened. Bank Nifty, yesterday's trend was looked like it was going to cross over like this, but what actually happened today is it came here for the crossover and then drifted apart. That means it went almost near to the crossover point, and then today's bearishness it went apart. Similarly, Bank Nifty, which had crossed over here, you can see into the bullish zones, right? But then today the crossover went back to the bearish zones. So the trend of Bank Nifty and Nifty both are confirmed to be in the bearish zones, right? So momentum is gone to sideways, trend is gone bearish for both indices, right? Holding at a support moving average both, Bollinger Band sideways, price action bearish, candlestick patterns bearish at support. Let's move ahead and see what is the open interest data of the options and the futures showing. Let's see futures first. Open interest. Futures open interest is showing long unwinding since last 2 days. Long unwinding happens when the price falls and the open interest also falls, right? So people who are long are now squaring it off. They are afraid that it may not go further long, so they are unwinding it. That's what the futures data of. And what about the options data? The options open interest data is showing that there is heavy bearishness, right? Supports are having hardly any volume for this Thursday's expiry, July 1st expiry, right? The support that you have is 15,500, right? Which is very close by, right? Market currently is at 15,800, but it the 15,800 is still not conquered. If you see here, right? 15,800 is still not conquered. So that has to be conquered first, then for 850, then 900. So that's going to be a tough job. And all this, so the market, if 800 is not conquered, is going to fall till 15,500 easily. It can. TCR is bearish 0.64, right? It was more than 1.2, last week. Now it is 0.64. It's bearish. Bank Nifty, it's bearish 0.58 put call ratio, right? And 35,000 it had conquered, it had given up. Now the fight is happening there, and we have hardly any supports here. 34,500 and 34,000, right? Very less volumes. You can see all the buildup is happening on the call side, call rating, right? So 35,500, 35,000 itself is going to be a tough task for the bank to hold on. A lot of bearish call writing has happened today, right? Hardly any put, and put call ratio is bearish. So that's the open interest analysis. And very interestingly, India VIX has gone further down today. It has fallen and closed at 13. It even went to 12.9. So VIX is falling like anything, right? And market is not rising much. No, market also is falling, right? And that is the strange situation that we have. And how about the foreign institutional investors? What did they do today? So if you look at the FIIs, they didn't do any selling. Yes, so domestic institutions heavily bought today, 1,800 crores once again. Ninth consecutive day, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 consecutive day. They're buying like that. Is the only reason market is there. Otherwise, it would have long back gone to 15,000. FIS has been selling, but they have stopped it today for some reason, right? But DA has been buying even today, which is very positive. For some reason, DA is buying when the market is at a near to an all-time high, right? DAs are the mutual funds and domestic institutional investors. Foreign investors are hesitant to they had been selling heavily, but they are hesitant to buy in large quantity in market, right? So that's what the participation of institutions showing. Now sector, let us see what happened in the sector. Sector, if you see today, financial services was doing bad. Yesterday it was doing very good. IT is doing bad, right? Auto, auto is not going. Metals not going good. Only is FMCG and pharma is what is doing good, right? So FMCG, HUL, Asian Paints, right? These are very good. Pharma, we have Cipla introduced some vaccine related news came in, and then that is probably what made right. So that is what. Let's look at quickly the chart on what happened on this IT today. Why it went red? Yeah, it's the correction that we talked about. There was an indecisiveness, and then there is a correction that's happening before it will take off. It's still in the bullish zones, no problems there. Metal continues to be in the sideways, and then today you have a very long bearish candle. So it has to come out of this before we can talk anything about. FMCG, we talked, FMCG and IT are the only two sectors which are doing good. It's still in the bullish zones. It corrected. Now it is going up. We said there is a bullish divergence. Probably that bullish divergence can take it up to here, this levels. That means this is high. This is a good time for FMCG stock to be purchased coming 2-3 days, right? Would be good for items, FMCG, even for IT also, right? there is bullish divergence here once again, right? You can see that price is going up and momentum is coming down, right? So IT and pharma is going to continue to perform. Auto has was in the bullish yesterday prior to the results. This is probably the result rally. All auto results are coming in the July month, but is could not hold it, has fallen down to the sideways in the momentum. Probably it may climb back, you know. So once this is back, momentum in the bullish zones, we can look at that. Pharma is doing good and climbed to the bullish zones, right? So pharma is joining the IT and the FMCG bandwagon for the rally. So those three sectors may be the sectors which, you know, along with auto, if they join, it can pull the Nifty up without the banks also, right? USD INR dollar index. What is dollar index doing? Dollar index is consolidating, right? But in the bullish zones, it's moving up. Just stuck for some time. Even same with USD INR also. So the dollar is consolidating. It had gained strength and then now the dollar is consolidating or resisting. It is at resistance at a major resistance area, previous resistance area, right? So most likely it can fall down. If it comes, the more number of times you are resisting at a major resistance area, there is more chance that it will break down. So it is multiple times it has been attempting. That's so. What about gold? Gold did a dip today, right? It has been consolidating in the support zone, but it is no, it is at a very major support zone, right? On the daily candles, on the monthly candles, you can see that there is a cup and handle pattern that is forming in the gold. Cup and handle is very bullish on the monthly basis, like on the long term basis. This is going to break out like anything, right? But since it is on monthly, it may take several months for this to happen, but eventually it will happen. On the daily basis, what no, it is at a major support level, right? So very less likelihood that it will break this, right? So that is what is happening in the gold. But today was a day where instead of consolidating here, it is trying to break down and see, right? So which is not good, right? But most likely it will hover around this area for a long period of time before it moves up, right? As per the patterns that we can see. Global markets as of now, um, SGX is slightly bullish and Nasdaq is flat and Dow Jones is up. Whenever Nasdaq is bearish, the Dow Jones will be bullish. So it is 50 plus points as of now, and S&P 500 is also flat or slightly bullish, right? Slightly up. So there is no major issue seen there in the global markets. It's heading up, right? It's recovered from the all the previous impacts and the market is continuing its up move. So that's what, you know, the analysis. So if you just try to wrap it up, we can see that, you know, Nifty and Bank Nifty, the trend has turned to bearish zones. Momentum is in the sideways zones. Market candlesticks and price actions are bearish. It is at a major support level. There are multiple resistances for Bank Nifty, and the major resistance that Nifty is facing is the all-time high and 16,000. Open interest is showing bearishness. Volatility is gone to very lowest levels of 13 and below, 12.9, that kind of levels. DIA participation is surprisingly bullish. FIs were selling but stopped selling. Sectors: pharma, FMCG, IT all picking up and bullish. Auto is also likely to catch up. USD INR resisting. Gold is at a support level, consolidating. Global markets are okay. So for taking trades tomorrow, right, we have to watch. So if you are positional or swing trader, you just have to watch whether this 15500 is breaking or not. As long as that is not broken, 450 15450 level is broken, means we'll have to be slightly careful until 15,000, right? So 15 to 15,000 would be the zones for swing professional traders to get a signal to come out. Until then, no worries. 15,000 is not broken, there's no worry for positional swing. Intraday, right, we just have to see whether wherever it closed today, is the market going above that, right? Or wherever the previous day's high happened, is the market going above that, then it is bullishness. If the market is going below today's close or today's low, previous day's low or previous day's close, then there is bearishness, right? Put the stop losses type, see the price action, and then trade intraday, right? Swing I already mentioned. So since swing also, if you're doing derivatives and options, since there is a consolidation as seen in the Bollinger Bands, is what is happening in the Bank Nifty, right? There is clear consolidation. Market is going zigzag, zigzag. This is what is going to happen for some period of time, right? So this is the time when we have to take the non-directional range bound movements, is what is ideal for gaining from theta decay, right? So non-directional strategies, instead of going for directional strategies like spreads, bull call, all that, non-directional strategies on swing basis is likely to work better, right? So that's the actionable that I have for June 30th. So tomorrow is Wednesday, so Wednesdays are very volatile these days, and Thursdays are comparatively less volatile. That's how it is I see in the last several days. So you have to intraday, when you are doing it, you have to have strict stop losses and purely price action based, right? So that's all. Once again, I request you to please subscribe and hit the like button if you like. Share this channel link to all your friends and relatives. It matters a lot to us. We need to increase the number of viewers for us to get ourselves motivated to provide you with good content. And that's all I have. Happy trading, happy learning.